it's not triangulation, but what it is, this drawing is an AutoCAD drawing and it's on Moodle at the moment. It's not like between triangles, but what this is very typical of is, for example, if you were doing sitting out for a tennis court where it needs to be pretty level, and what a surveyor would often do is they'll grid it. So these could be 5 metre grids or 2 metre grids or even down to 1 metre grids. And the person who's the chainman will go along marking every, say, 5 metres, so that they'll pick up these spots here, here, here and here, and so on. Which means when it's contoured, it gives a much sort of better idea of what your ground profile is. Whereas if you just randomly let your chainmen run all over the place, they're likely to miss parts which are a little bit higher or a little bit low. So you don't do this for every job, and obviously surveyors aren't paid to stay in the sun all day every day. They're paid to go in, do the job and get out of there as quickly as they can, but do a very good, thorough job as well. So if it was that field out there, the green field, they would go around taking random shots, but they would also keep an eye out for anything that's a bit lower and a bit higher. Whereas this type of work on a very flat surface, even if it was just that surface out there, where you want to do a wee bit of drainage work, to make sure that it's being covered properly, they often will grid it. Grid it doesn't mean putting string, but maybe putting a little spot everywhere they want the chainman to go. So a good little exercise, and we don't want to be spending ages doing this. I'm just trying to demonstrate eyeballing. So my answer is eyeballed as well. I've got one of my degree students email me back saying your answer is wrong. I've done all the calculations and it's out by, you know, a couple of millimetres here and a few millimetres there. I said I only eyeballed it, and he didn't quite realise that it wasn't a mathematical exercise. So I'll show you what I would like, how I would like you to go about this, and this is how I would do it if I was eyeballing it. We're being asked to do every half metre. So I think because it's a little bit difficult to do to eyeball half metre, I think what I'll do is every metre, and then I'll just go in between to do the half metres. So I need something that's pretty close to a whole metre, and I can see a really good place to start, and I'm going to offer a half a mark for anyone that can tell me where very quickly. First one to answer, a good place to start. Where?
53.
No, a good place to start would be to make a layer up called contours. Okay, so that's another half mark blown, never mind. So I'm going to make a layer up, file, new, oh sorry, I've forgotten how to make layers up in the whole since the break. We go in here, we go to this little thing up here, make a layer up, and we'll call it contours. Alright, and we'll make it current. So you are right, the 53 is a great place to start after you've made your layer called contours. And I'm going to start with the P line. I want to take my O-snap off. And I'm going to start here and take my ortho off as well. I don't really like my bubble and squeak following me all over the place, so we'll get rid of that as well. So roughly speaking, 52.91 is very close to 53, so it's probably somewhere around about here. 52.75 is further away. 53.85, so it's about a third of the way. 53.84. 54, be careful, there's a 53 and a 54 in here, so it's probably going down a bit, and it's probably going to go somewhere back down to 53 like that. Now I'm going to do 52. Well, it's going to be just a little bit above there, and a wee bit more above there, and this time it's going to be closer to halfway, because 51.54, 52.75, it's probably more like about, maybe here, back down to similar here, and back down to just above there. Now, to do the half contour, I simply split the difference. Remember, we're eyeballing, we're not doing it 100%, so we're going to do that. So I've given you a start. I would like you to do the top ones, please. You don't have to do this exercise, but if you're choosing to do eyeballing for your assignment, remember I said it'll take 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, this might be something you might like to consider. Some students did a combination of calculations and for the assignment last semester, and they just did kind of every fourth or fifth one, and then they filled the ones in between by eyeballing. That was a good concept as well. They ended up getting 1.5 marks for that out of 2. Not quite the full one, but close. So I want you to all have a wee bit of a go at that now. It shouldn't take too long. I'll give you maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll talk about it a little bit further. The irony of that last little joke of mine was that that's exactly what I did to everyone in semester 1, and no one got the layer thing right either. In my class, anyway. So open up the drawing. It's under class exercise 1.
觉得你就应该分段。
It'll come again, I reckon. Maybe not as big next time. Okay, so I'm going to play a little video file which I've left on Moodle. I'll make it available, but I'll let you, in a minute I will. Now, it's a little bit complicated to play these things. I made them a few years back, so what you actually have to do is to right click on it and save it to somewhere. I've saved it to desktop, and then on desktop itself you have to right click and go open with, and you'll probably find that Internet Explorer isn't there as an option. If you've got Adobe, it will open, so you have to go choose an app, more apps, and then load Internet Explorer. And then once it is loaded, you have to click on the allowed block content. So it's a little bit complicated, but you can get there in the end. So just playing the video, pretty much drawing everything as I was drawing it before. Just trying to work out if I can speed this up a little bit. And then after I'd done that, I went up and drew the next one up the top. Here we go. I put some labels on there, and I broke the lines in between. And then in order to draw the top ones, I went up to my layers, and I chose a layer called Answer, which you can do as well, and you'll find that the answer's there to compare your eyeballing with. Remember, my answer is only an eyeballed answer. So in other words, if I go back to my drawing here, I can click on the answer, and you'll see that I was pretty close. And then here's the answer to those two. And that's basically what you do if you're eyeballing. The alternative way around it is to do the divide command, like I showed you this morning, or the calculation as I showed it this morning. A lot of students decide that the divide command is probably the way that they're more comfortable with. So the next class exercise that I'm going to show you on Moodle, by the way, I'll make that video available to you. So there's the video for the eyeballing movie. Class exercise 2 is a CAD exercise also, and here it is here. So what we've got is we have a platform. I promised you this morning. We have a level now. It's not 91.0, so it's a half meter level on the platform. We've got batters of 1 to 1, 1 to 2. You've got some contours there, and you're being asked to do contours every metre. So it's still pretty simple, but I've thrown something into the mix there that's a bit different. We have a platform there at 91.5. Remember what we did this morning? We offset for the cut, we offset 1, and for the fill batters, we offset 2. And then we joined up where they intersected with their relevant contours. However, we have a little bit of an issue in that we are starting on a half metre contour. So I'm giving you some lateral thinking here. I'll turn the lights back on if you want. This file is on Moodle. Probably better to turn them back to one. Yeah.
它92这条线呢都是断的。这不科学啊。上下都不全，搞不来，搞不懂。
Okay, maybe I need to demonstrate it on the whiteboard over here one more time as well. I'll get up. So just to be clear, this is the last bit of learning in terms of tonight. I'm then going to start walking around your assignments, seeing how you're getting on, answering any questions, if you've got any, okay? Some of you might want to scoop before that. Some of you might want some help that you want to ask questions. Some may want to show me your hatching, so I can approve it or disapprove it. So we have a platform. The platform level is 90.5. We need to come down to our first contour, which is at 90. The next one is 80. Am I right about the 90? Is it 91.5? Okay, sorry, 91.5. The next one is 91, 90, 89, so on. On the way up, the first one is 92, 93, 94. But we need to make that little jump to get to the 92 and the little jump down to get to 91. So the first little bit is not the normal offset. So the first offset is going to be this way, coming down. Remember that is 2 to 1. So in this case, that 1 becomes 0.5. So therefore our first offset in the fill is 1. In the cut, looking down on it, the cut goes up at 1 to 1. However, we are only going up half a metre, so therefore the first offset in the cut will be half a metre as well. Remember, this is 1 to 1. So taking that into account, I've pretty much given you the answer. And here's a little movie file on doing it. Just ignore the little bit of that line in the top corner was left on there from me. So what I've done is I've gone offset. We're in the cut, so offset a half, then 1, then 1, then 1. Notice I did a P line first. That went most of the way around this side of the platform. The start point is, of course, 91.5, where that touches. Okay, so it's in between two contours where it touches on the platform. And I'm coming down exactly like I did in class, and I'm touching where each, well, I can't actually get a point there, so I got it in the end, and we come back something like that. You'll notice that there's no 97. So these ones down here get deleted. So our cut's going to look something like this. Just getting rid of the bits that aren't required. You'll do it for, no, this is part of assignment 2. I'm getting rid of, I'm doing what we call our formation contours, and also our, I guess for want of a better word, our butterfly wings. But I'm only doing half of a butterfly, half of the platform for you to explain it. So notice this time I went 1 metre, 2, 2, 2, 2, because of what I explained over here. Alright? And now I'm joining up this. Now in this case we can only kind of do so much, and we run out of space on the drawing because we haven't shown enough contours. We can still trim it off and basically that is that little exercise done. Now, what I've done is I've adapted that to a 3D drawing to show everybody what the platform looks like and how we've what we've actually done. So I'm going to make that 3D drawing available to you as well. All of this is part of learning how to do your design platform for your assignment. It's how to do it in the future if you come across it as well. I admit it's not easy, but it is an essential part of your learning curve here in civil and structural drawing. There have been students that have mucked this up and still passed the course, but it's tricky. Now there's the platform there in red, and up the top is the fill where it goes downhill, and the yellow bit is the cut where it bites into the bank. And this is a 3D file, so when you open it, you have to hold the shift key down, middle roller. Remember your very first day here at Unitec with the AutoCAD. Shift key down, middle roller, and let's start having a look at this fella. Still doing it? Okay. So what we've got is the cut situation and the fill situation. So as you can see, the fill goes downhill. See that there? And the cut situation is where it's cutting into the bank. The contours come round, they hit the design contour, it goes around here, and it's a little bit out there, but it goes out the other side. So I've only managed to do half of the platform. What would happen this would go right round and join up somewhere on the other side. Actually, it would go right the way around and join back up here on this point here where it hits the platform. So if you are wondering what it looks like from the top again, you can simply go twist it around so you're looking down on it, or go view, 3D views, top, and that'll put it on the top. So it's converting what something looks like in plan view to what's happening in elevational view to what's now happening in 3D view. I thought I saw more stun mullets this morning. I'm seeing quite a few this afternoon as well. I'll put it down to the lateness, the fact it's getting dark, and I'm the only one here that's just had a coffee. Not showing me many lights. Look, that's turned off again. The light's turning on at the back there, Sosifa. Over there somewhere. Yep, it's better. Okay. So today we talked mostly about contours. We've talked about the drawings side of it. We've talked about how to choose the contour interval. We talked about how to do contours between spotlights. We've how to eyeball them, how to calculate them, how to do it with the divide command. There's a few people stayed back before after class, and I showed them something, so I need to perhaps show you guys as well. In this situation where you have say 103.09, and you have another one down here which is 102.84, and you've got to place a mark where the 103 contour is, right? If you take that number and you take that number, the difference between the two of these is 16 and 9. Let's do a quick maths there. 25, right? So it's 25. So you divide that by 25, and you'll get 25 25 all the way down here. Sorry, this might not be 25, so careful when you're taking a photo of it. Don't know how many that is. But you would count 9 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be the node that you took your contour over to. And you might get another one over here, which is 102.98. So 98 and 09, so you've got 9 plus 2 is 11. So this time you've only got 11. And so you would count that down 9, it might be over here. So you would draw a line between those two, and that will be your 103 contour. Okay? So you're using nodes to figure out where the contour strikes. I better make sure that that is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. 10, 11. Look at that. I've no idea how many of those there are, but that should have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is 9. 10. How many is the difference between those two?
25.
Well, it's actually 0.25, right?
Yeah.
So you divide that by 25, and then you're just counting 9 backwards from 103.9 to get 103. Ah, light bulb just went on. I saw that happen. And you opened your mouth at the same time. That's what happens with my fridge. The door opens and the light goes on. Okay, from here, from here to here. There was 12, right? 11, sorry. 9. And 2 from down here. 2 and 9 make 11. We could have counted 2 up here, but I made it more complicated. I counted 9 backwards down that way.
Is that 98?
That's a 98, yeah, and then not green. And that's a 2. I'm a bit rough with my, I know Ingrid does sort of perfect letters and things on the board. I tend to get a bit dramatic when I'm doing it. So, yeah, 25 is the magic number there, 11 is the magic number over there. Doesn't take too long, you get pretty good at the divide command. Basically, you go divide, you start typing the command DIVID, click on that, bang, 25, bang, and you've done it, right? Now, if you just leave the nodes as they are, as you're going around, you'll be fine. And then all you need to do then is set the size of the node so that you can see it. So it might have to be 10 times the size or 20, whatever size suits you, so you can join them up really quickly. Set your O-snap to node, and you'll pick it up straight away. And then, of course, make the node disappear down to a dot or something like that when you hand it into them. That to me is the easiest. Now, some students go away and they'll do a few of them like this, and they'll get a bit bored, and they'll go, oh, this is going to take me a long time. And so they'll just do another one over here, which might be their 100. And they'll go, okay, no one's looking, I'll just estimate those two as being like that, okay? Now that's what I mean by half done by divide and 2 of them done by eyeballing. You might even decide to do 1 or 2 by calculation just to check that you're doing things right. With the calculation, you will need to do it for the test. So you might as well do at least 1 of them that way. And you could check it by divide anyway. If you do it by calculation, I want you to put something there, whether it's a tick, or whether it's a circle, or something, right? Otherwise, I'm going to think you've done it by eyeballing. So you want to at least prove to me that you've done it by calculation. And for those that think you're going to do an eyeballing with a mark, to try and put good luck, okay? That might work. What I tend to do is I will do I'll pick on 1 or 2 of the triangle lines, and I'll do a divide command, and it should come out bang on where your eyeballing comes out. Now if I see a mark that's up here, and an eyeball going through like that, initially I might think, oh yes, they've done it by calculation. I'll go divide, and my line will come out there, and I'll go, no, there. they're playing little games, so I can play little games as well, okay? The triangles, I want you to draw the triangles on. I'll give you an example of triangulation. Here is a few points. Okay, there's my points. Simple triangles. Simple. Right? That's for my simple students, and every now and then I get students that are not simple and they decide that they will do this and they start going like this. And they've just crossed over triangles and created more than they need to. They do that, and then they go like that, and then they go like that, and they think they're going to get a more accurate answer. But by doing that, and by doing that, they're crossing over areas where there's no spot oaks. The answer is not quite right. So they're actually doing more work, but they might as well get out a gun and shoot themselves in the foot because they're losing marks out of it. So the simple triangulation will work nicely. Okay? A good example of if you ever get to the surveys and get to use 12D, and when you hit the button on 12D, it just does very simple triangles. It doesn't complicate things, just very simple. And then it will calculate the contours after that. And by the way, next year when you do 12D, to do a big exercise that you normally do on the campus, please don't email me some expletives saying how easy it was to do on 12D compared with my class exercise, all right? 12D does just under 500,000 points in just under about 5 seconds. It'll triangulate it, and another click of the button will make the contours. All right? That's it. I've done enough talking today. I'm going to walk around. I'll make sure that everybody gets to ask at least one question. Don't hog all of my time. That's a bit mean, but you know, maybe if you're in a little group, you can ask a question, 2 or 3 questions. What I tend to do is I will start, like for example, I might start at the front here today, and then I'll work my way along here, and then I'll start at the front and I'll work my way back. Or I might do it the other way around. I'll just change it from week to week, so don't think you're in the prime seat. But because these 2 guys look so excited, I'm going to start at the front. And I'll work my way along here. Please, this class isn't about embarrassing people. If you're okay, just say, look, I'm fine. I don't care if you haven't even opened a file yet. It's up to you how you manage your time. You might be already finished your maths assignment, I don't know. Okay? So I'll start here. I'll wiggle my way to the back. I'll then start at the front over here and go all the way to the back. So next week I might do it the other way around, okay? It's just random. Yep. You don't even have to put your hand up. You're number 1. This week. You could be the last one next week.
While doing my control, I found 2 points I don't quite understand. 1 point is this one.
Okay, so the file has previously been contoured by a student. So what the student did was he used points on here to do his triangulation. So these points have been used to do triangulation. Now those points are called nodes, N-O-D-E-S. Now if you go format, up there, format, point style, yep, and you change that to a dot and go okay, they'll all disappear, but they're still there. So they're like your friend that, you know, is he's there, but you can't tell anybody else. You can explain it to anyone else.
And my question is...
The problem is though, when you come to do your dividing and all that, those same friends will come up again, you don't really want them. So maybe if you bring them up now and delete them. How about that? And then start your calculations, because otherwise they'll be annoying you. Okay?
The question is,
Yeah.
for this point it's 41, right?
Yes.
But here is 40.
Do you still have the circles left? What's happened to your circles where the points are? The round circle.
I deleted them.
Oh dear.
Okay, that's the reason.
No, you can bring them back in again from the survey file. If you save the survey file again, just as a little side note, I used to get a lot of drawings coming into me with all sorts of rubbish on them, right? And I soon learned never delete freeze,
Okay.
because like they might have called it a river or something, but it's actually a building. And instead of just going, what a silly fool, delete, they will say, oh, sorry, I put it on the wrong name. That's the building you need to put on your drawing.
Okay.
And I'm like, right? So to bring that back into the right place, you need 2 common points. So do a little, on my survey drawing, you need one point that's the same as your drawing and my survey drawing. So save the survey drawing somewhere else, just as it is. Go copy and click on all those circles. It says copy from a base point. I think you go copy from a base point. So it's up here. You go file. Oh, sorry, no. Edit. Copy with base point, right? And so you click on a base point. No, the first thing you do is click on the base point. Start again. Edit. Copy with base point. Now say this was your base point here, that point there, that corner. So you'll click on the corner, click. Now copy the points. Oh, sorry, what's it say down there? Base point, 1 found, okay? Now, you're clicking too quickly. Start again. Edit, copy with base point. Specify base point. Now click on there once, one click. Okay, so that's it. Now stop.
Okay.
Now click on the things you want to copy. So that one, etc.
All of them.
Yeah, and then go enter. Right, now go back into your drawing. Edit. Paste to original coordinates.
Wow.
Did that work?
Yeah. Thank you. Very
I'm not sure if it did.
convenient.
I think it did. Yeah, let's do something else. Edit, paste as block, and click on your base point. Is it there? Click. Yeah. It looks like they've ended up in the same space.
Okay.
So whatever you did there was right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And one for this point, it's
There's more of them, but that's a block now, so you need to explode it. Just erase it at the moment. You just click on it once and go erase.
erase.
Yep. Now what's it doing? Yeah, now there's single. Remember you put it in first? You put it in before you put the block in. You've still got some more ones to go. But just, that's the point where you do your triangles. Right?
Yeah.
And don't go through contours. You can do a triangle from here to a contour, but you cannot do a triangle through a contour. I explained that in the lecture this morning. Next question. Next question?
Still for this point, because the contour line is here is 42,
Yes?
but here is 41.
Yes?
So it seems not.
It seems it's
Correct.
wrong.
Yeah.
Which one's wrong?
This point 41.01 because his
That should be 42.
42.0.
0.01, correct. think. Yeah. Okay. You're the first person to pick that up. Well done.
Thank you.
I don't think there's many others. I think that was my one typo.
And one more here. 41.
No, I think that one's alright.
But here is a 40.
40.
Oh yeah, it's correct.
There's a kink in there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my question.
Okay. Alright. Actually, I think that's 42.40. Yeah, no. It goes chunk chunk. It's a little bit different. Yeah.
So, no.
Start somewhere else. See how you get on. Are you sure those numbers are in the right place? Oh yeah, that one's
Look
right.
at the-
It depends where the circle is.
Look at the original.
You've got to bring in the circles because that's where the point is. Yeah.
So 42.41. But here is 42.4.
So it goes over to it. Yeah.
So
It goes across.
like this.
Yeah. And that one goes across as well. Unless you've moved them,
No, this is the original.
it's the
Drawing.
original one. Okay. Yeah.
So the contour line should be go like this.
Yeah. But you need to do your triangles to work out where they're going.
Okay. Thank you.
I have got a feeling that that's 2-1. $42.21. Yeah. 40. We changed it to 42.21.
Yeah,
I might just have a look at that survey. I know there was one point that was wrong. Yeah, it's 42.2.01 is correct. That should be 42.01.
Oh,
And that one there should be, I'll make that green, yellow. And that should be 42.21.
yeah.
And I'm just seeing if any of the others are wrong. 42.49 is right, 42.79 is right, 99 is right, 49 is correct. 78 is
他早上
correct.
说这个是错，哪个是错的？
42 is correct, 71 is correct. Okay, so that's correct. Thank you for pointing that out. So, can you see what I'm doing on the board up there? That one? And this one here. Okay everyone, a little bit of an announcement. I will also follow this up with a Moodle message at some stage. We have two students have picked up two what we call bum levels or wrong levels. And I think they're the only two that are wrong. It's not uncommon to get a survey where the surveyor's put in a typo that's incorrect. It's not uncommon for a engineer to do it like myself. There is, however, a 45.44 Yeah. At this stage, there are 2 levels that are not correct. You would have picked them up if you'd advanced your drawing a little bit more. I'll tell the other surveyors next week, but I'll put a message out to everybody. This one here, and that one at the top. That one says 41.01, it should be 42.01, because 41.01 will be over here somewhere. The one up there could still work at 42.41, but I'd like you to change it to 42.21 to make it simple. So that, just change those while you're in your drawing at the moment, and you'll find it's a lot simpler to calculate it. Everything else, I've had a quick look around. Everything else is pretty good. Have you found another level? Someone?
Yeah,
No?
can you check also the 41.40 or 45.45 at the right corner?
The right corner, this
Yeah.
one here,
Yeah, down here, 45.45. Down.
45.
Scroll down. Yeah, the right, the last one, the bottom
This
one. Well, the bottom one. Yeah, this one.
That should be 40. 45.25, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah, should be 2.
Okay, yeah, correct. I did tell you that some of the levels weren't correct and you were to try and find them, but it was a slightly different assignment 3 or 4 years ago when I used this, and I've been manually putting these numbers in there, and it's still my fault. I'm not trying to get out of it, but I want to point it out to you there. That one there will have no difference because you should ignore anything whether it's on the right hand side of the contours. You don't need those levels, but my friend here is correct. That level is correct. It should be 45.25. These ones here are a little bit more serious because you've got to take this line here, 42, and that comes down to meet up with the other line, 42. So you'll need that level to be correct, and also you'll need 42.21 to be correct. So if you do nothing else, just change those 2. But this one here is also should be 45.25 to be technically correct. Now 1 or 2 of the levels don't have any numbers on them. You can leave them, or you can elect to put a level on them yourself. Okay? That is up to you. You can either delete them or put a level on it yourself. You won't lose any marks either way. Now the other thing is, remember you've got 2 different types of trees. One's existing, one's a native. So when you make your symbol, make sure you make a different symbol for each tree. Also remember, both Ingrid and myself don't like uppercase text, and you will need to start working out your text types. You think your camera will take a photo of that? Try. It doesn't matter. I'll give you a snapshot in an email.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll provide a snapshot of that. I might even just do it now while we're. Oh no, I'll go around everybody first. If I've got time at the end, I'll do it tonight. Otherwise, I'll do it. In an email form. Okay. You all right now?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yep. What about you guys? Any questions? Made a bit of a start already. You're okay at the moment? Getting you? Okay. Well, maybe next week you can bring a few in. We're going to draw a long section next week, so quite a bit of the class will be taken up drawing that, maybe an hour. And so there's at least 1 or 2 questions.
This one? Is this on?
Oh, I think we'll let you. This time, that's fine. Yeah, this time it's fine. Yes.
记得他说过，我们可以改这个点嘛，是吧？就这些点，改成那个，改成 dot node 啊之类的。
That looks like a footpath of some sort, maybe. So that would be a pipe or a drain across here of some sort. So a drain pipe. Okay? Sort of where the water goes. Yes, yeah, but you can go there and have a look. It might be a wall. Another place might be. Yeah, that's probably the way. Because the contours are broken. Yeah, we are calling it a wall. Good question.
他刚才说的那个指令是，就是 edit， 然后 copy with base point 是吧？然后 copy 完之后选个 base point， 然后选点，选完点，选完之后再回来之后。我怎么再用不出来了？奇怪。去哪里用？你看到 edit。
我的理解，我不太理解这个 base point 是什么。
他让我点了一个点，就随意刚才在地图上。对，点了，然后就选完了之后。哦，我要点回车，我当时没点回车。 把这个整个的口型，然后画的就是遇到这个上的就是
Remember, it's just over. Yeah. Did you do the divide command amendment? Yep. So you need to do what you did for the shrubs and things like that last semester. Did you do that? So you're getting different. No, you're not understanding the exercises at school eyeballing approximate. Like, for example, if I was, if I needed to give you $9.50, but I just said, oh, here's $10, it's approximate. Okay? So that is an exercise in approximately eyeballing. It should have taken you under 2 minutes to do that. That's how quickly you do it. I'm trying to demonstrate that I showed you how to do these two in about 15 seconds. Right? And I did an eyeball for the answer. To be honest, command, you've got to have your triangles, or in this case, you would do a distance between here and here. And you divide that by, that's 0. If you wanted 9, you can't really do it there, because it goes past it. So if you want 9, please you can. So you would, between here and there, you would do 90. Right, and then you would count up until you get to the correct. So for over here, 55 and 51, it would be 100, and it would be exactly 50 hours. Between here and between there, between there, 100. Because 55 and 54. If you go points with 100 of them. So between here and here.
Sorry, yeah, so,
96. And then you would drive up.
so you asked me for that. So you asked me for that. Like, I've been here. Why is there all this random stuff?
So basically, yeah, you do it by using the divide command. So I explained it over here on the board. 100.09 and 102.84. The difference between the two decimal places, and you use that to divide the command, and then you count. To give you another example, let's make it really good. You're concentrating on like if I said to you 103.42, 104.25, right? I was eyeballing with 104. Let's call that 5. Very close. Really close. So eyeballing, I'm not talking about.
Oh, maybe the bird knows.
Take a second thought. It's really close.
Do you know what the flag means?
Divide command, you would do 99.
Examples, we don't know
And you
the flag.
would count here
Flag in the middle of the.
to work out exactly.
We have a flag.
56, 55 is 91, and then 56 or 100, that's what you yeah.
Okay, so here the features this layer.
No,
And for doing the contours, you wouldn't have it go through, you would have to go flat here, wouldn't you? It's like, and these ones, they all have it showing the contours going right through the square, and the all the same level.
yeah.
So they got it, so you do it after, so you do the contours, get the bolts, and you do it.
Maybe halfway.
Yeah.
Divide command in, or you do it by calculation.
Because it's at the bottom, right?
Yep.
So we just want to see.
So do it after. And before, over here, like, this is right, falling over here, so we just do this for like,
You would measure that
like this. Like, what it is, like, if you go
exactly properly.
half half,
Which might be very, very close.
half half.
So
random, yeah, that's the example. Okay, so he's obviously, he didn't put A's, like obviously put C's.
very quick, very easy. My whole section should be
No,
able to
they're
do the
marked,
whole thing.
like,
Oh.
God.
You do your triangles, then you either
That's why I was wondering if these guys got that wrong.
15, 10, 15, 20. Let's try you out.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he's current.
Yeah, it becomes easy, with circle two.
But afterwards, you
Each thing, you've got to range over.
So this is
45.
So we do contours.
2, 3, you've got, 5,
way. You know there's going to be fully flat. And then we have to
So you're going to 45 foot pool somewhere, probably about here, 45 foot 6 foot plus.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
For this exercise.
That's all that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, this is
What's the level to be?
yeah, what's the level?
Should be in the same level because that and
Yeah,
there's
yeah. 100%.
so there is no control.
You divide by 39,
Because 23, you're going to have to cut it.
40, 40. From 40 to 62 is 20.
So we drop, for example, from here we should cut because it's higher. This is down.
You might have to like, yeah, do the contour stuff so you can join.
And he's got 3 layers on the contours. So when we just continue on contours, don't make changes. Get back 3 things. Sort of see that these are just the contour layer. He's not trying to trick us, we can continue on contour. Or is he trying to trick us? Yeah, but just like,
Two along.
oh, I see what you mean. Oh, I was just wondering if it's like, what's this?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Because it is stuck in some point.
No, you supposed to.
Oh, did you leave?
Where they are, when you
Oh, was Andrew
I will email it. This is like you got your personal bodyguard.
Because if you're struggling, you speak.
Yeah.
But if you got something cold, you will get more experience.
Yeah.
With your mind and you do
So we need to do that.
是不是说的就是刚才那种画可以不要画了这样子？画那个。对，他也说了，但是而且这个已经挨过比较长了，如果要计算的话，对他限太多了。就爱的那老费劲儿了。有些时候点很多的话，很崩溃的。
But for assignment 2, if that's what you've done, I will accept that. If you carry on and do assignment 2. Yeah. But you really want to be trying to get student got a B in your class and it's probably all up to 5. Don't forget those products that I put open down on changing the I will put an email out to verify that again. It is all a bit daunting. You've still got 2 or 3 more weeks to go, but that'll come around real quickly. And around about this week or next week, all your other wonderful lectures will start moving into assignments.
Is Leo good?
It becomes a priority thing, then, doesn't it? The parts, you might be able to actually hatch it without doing the pre-line on top, but if you
他是说我们画的那些三角啊、triangle 啊那些都要让你留下来，是吧？
I do those.
只是说是可能我们需要把它片面颜色看出来。
We just like move around the class, find this muffin.
是 freeze 的那个 哦 freeze 的就是
You know, as the guy in the mob says, it's just business, you know.
How much time do you spend doing that calculation?
You can, I prefer you don't, but once you've got your mark, you do it anyway. So you can pretty it all up to the heart.
你 freeze 了你需要。
我是把负的 freeze，现在画了一下，然后打。
Yes, that, not so much a redraw.
删了。
I will do a circle, blue, and do something that looks better inside.
我把它放回去。
Yeah, so he's done the minimal and that's perfectly fine, as long as his other tree looks good. In fact, he's done the complete minimal, because he's used my trees here, and that's all right, I'm not going to mark him back. That's fine, it's the way to do it. However, when he takes that to a job interview and he shows his tree, we'll throw it in.
你怎么知道哪个是树叶？
它那个 block
Yeah, well, there are trees everywhere on the internet.
直接点那个小太阳就看出来哪个消失掉哪个。
Yeah, so like,
When we do the long section, it's the same. I'll draw a
you
tree.
usually go straight down, and it will be a pond.
You want to do that, that's fine, but it does look rather young.
Slide it to the right.
我之前就不理解这个 freeze 是什么概念，现在才知道。
Cross sections, because cross sections are a natural scale. Alright, imagine me as the stretch scale. When I draw myself on a cross section, I'm squashing my heart.
Yeah, I can show you a few maps.
So you do a pretty tree on your long section, and when it's squashed, it doesn't look like that. Trying to think of an example, but some students, they draw lovely palm trees, like they're in the middle of Saudi Arabia or the middle of an island somewhere, and then palm trees do not look good in the squash. But I insist that you squash the tree that you've got on your long section. That's for assignment. So it's all a learning curve. When we do cross sections, they're always a natural scale. So you can
Yeah,
take
it's
any job
made up, so he based it off there, and then he put it there, but
When you do
otherwise,
long sections, then
the
you
surveyors
always
will do,
distort it.
will just plug in
Give you an idea
information
of
that's based on the
motorways,
line of the
then
contours, was it perfect? And he,
You know how many go on the motorway
so
with
he
flat?
said at the start that he changed it all. So he based it on
140, right? And in reality, the kids,
the reality of so path there as well. So that path's real, but
So
the other
when we do
one's
long
fake.
sections at 10 to 1, we make some demonstration. Whereas when you go over line,
But he's based it off there.
immediately we can do things like no passing lanes, drainage, all that kind of stuff. And surveys get to set it out. You're the lucky guys that get to set out and make that.
我觉得
Drainage lanes and everything else.
我要不就
You
改。
should be able to tell from a sort of long section that you're in the right spot to start doing the set out. Otherwise you're just
是像你说的，把这个小太阳删了呗，然后把我那边的 copy 过来重新搞。
So you don't do
但
that to
是
that point.
工程量蛮大的。
In fact,
我这些我全部都弄了，字体都弄了。哦，
yours look pretty good. You might find that
你看这些我都删掉。
you mark your points here, and you might be able to just do a line down and forget about taking any triangles out.
还是跟他打个圈。
You know, say you get a point there and you get a point there, then you might be able to just join them up, because that's pretty close. Particularly that one, it's probably not very close. It's so close, it's not very through there, right? So when it's close, that's fine. You probably, yeah, we'll just mark where it goes there and then just take a line down, just carry on. Over here, it's starting to get quite a long way away, so you probably need to, is that a line, is it? Okay, so you can't. So, but you can do a line from there to there, which will give you those. Alright. I'm giving you too many hints. Yep. Ignore, it's all done for you. Yep, you can leave it there if you want to. It's all part of my little track. The students that don't turn up to class take their triangles across to those points, and then things become very confusing for them. Because that line there will end up in the wrong place. Yeah. Okay? You guys have got very small laptops. Good for carrying around, but.
Well, it's either that or carry like one number, and I have to carry much around this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But when you get to my age, you can't even see what the small ones are doing. I'm assuming you're doing your work. Yeah, no, it should be wearing glasses for close-ups. They've got it here, as you saw. Glasses.
Much of these consoles, the chips of them seem to overlap with one another. So I ignore those, but I can't seem to trim them.
Yeah, you should trim that.
I can't see it because
Just trim it. Just don't let it go past the path. The path is generally a path is like a road, which you'll find out.
that was the problem I had with the pattern.
Yeah, it's a 2D file, but it's a 3D file that's been flattened. So if you put it in reality, you're looking down on it and you're trying to trim something, but it's not quite touching.
So I can ignore them because they're not.
Just ignore it. It won't be part of the market.
Because I was
Just
planning on
try and make
doing,
it
because I was planning on doing this thing where it says ended.
What's your name? Sorry, what's your name?
Sonda, just Sonda.
Sonda. Okay, so that blue line, I've come to the conclusion it's a retaining wall. You go for a walk up there or drive past, you probably see a little wall. It's 200 wide. So I think the surveyors have picked up a little retaining wall there. So it's good that you put it on another layer because you can now change that layer name to.
Better if it was a concrete path or a.
Yeah, 200 is a little bit small for a concrete path, especially for my little dainty frame. I'd probably get 1 foot on there.
Is that the random line in the middle of the contour?
It's the one where the pathway like goes to this thing here.
It's up by the,
Zoom out?
yeah.
This part here.
I think the clue is that the contour's on it.
删了就删了。
Oh, I see.
他发现要扣分就扣，或者
Because it's currently under like the one that
就啥都不扣，只要提醒他就行，就这样吧。
Photos lost it comes with design. Normally the size of photo because the architect's department would not do an A1 one, so I make it larger. So therefore it's the other. It is also normally more to read it because it tells the printer where the outside plate is.
不错，不赖。
I just want
I'll probably just sing you
No one's actually asked me to check it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, you haven't done it. Can't give you a pass, Mark. Have you done your work?
What about notes?
You might have to change the pattern slides. Maybe have to change for me. After you just go to you. The thing is, you also have to work with that. You zoom into the same, the way you scroll it there, you zoom into the same amount of zoom. So go to the part, zoom in on that. Yeah. So we've got about the same size, go back. And then the wrong part of the patch. So you're up to size. Yeah, we want to do that. I'm just here. You're on the cusp. Anything like open and but you're fine. You're not on the mark. You're on a little bit over that cusp, so you're going to have to change your scale a little bit on both. It looks like you've got probably 2 or 3 more. If you compare scales, you know what I'm talking about. Unless you already are the same scale, which goes to
我说了吗？我把它复原。 还在。